Yes, good morning students. Let us continue the chapter structure of atom. Okay, in the previous class we were studying about the quantum mechanical model of an atom. There we got the introduction of the quantum numbers. Quantum numbers are the address of an electron which gives the probability of finding of an electron around the nucleus. Got it? Okay, and now we have left the concept of orbit and we came to the concept of orbital. Okay, now it's time to point out the differences between orbit and orbital. Okay, orbit means according to in the Bohr's model we have studied, no, it's a two-dimensional path around the nucleus where we can find the electron, where electron will be revolving continuously with a high speed around the nucleus. Okay, and orbital is a three-dimensional space around the nucleus where the probability of finding the electron is maximum. Okay, now let us write the differences between orbit and orbital. You write the side heading difference between orbit and orbital. Okay, you make this table orbit, orbital. Okay, first difference you write it down. It is two-dimensional circular path around the nucleus. Two-dimensional circular path around the nucleus where electron is revolving continuously. Okay, next orbital. Okay, it's two-dimensional and here orbital is a three-dimensional space around the nucleus where the probability of finding the electron is maximum. What is orbital, students? It is the three-dimensional space. Yes, it is the three-dimensional space around the nucleus where the probability of finding the electron is maximum. Okay, this is what three-dimensional space it is. Okay, it is a two-dimensional path. Okay, second one. Okay, orbital is always circular in path. Yes, sir. Okay, it is always circular, concentric circles, how I have explained. Okay, orbitals may be of different. Orbitals may be of different shape. Regarding this, we will study later. Okay, circular in path always, but it is different in shapes. Okay, in the orbit, write down the maximum number of electrons in the orbit is given by 2n square formula. Okay, the maximum number of electrons in the orbit is given by 2n square, where n is the principal quantum number. Where n is the principal quantum number. Okay, and only 2 electrons can be filled in a single orbital. Only 2 electrons can be filled in a single orbital, but here in the orbit 2n square electrons can be filled. Okay, and next difference, the orbits are represented as K, L, M, N, capital letters, etc. This we have studied in the lower class. First cell is K, L, M, N, and by using this formula we go on filling the electrons 2, 8, 18, 32 like that, isn't it? Okay. And orbitals are represented as S, P, D, F. Small letters S, P, D, F. Orbitals are represented as S, P, D, F. Got it? These are the some important differences between orbit and orbital. Got it? It is two-dimensional circular path, it is three-dimensional space. Okay, and it will always be circular in shape and these have the different shapes. Okay, the maximum electrons in the orbit is given by 2n square. Okay, and the maximum electrons in the orbital is given by 2 electrons, only 2 electrons. Okay, and these are represented as K, L, M, N. These are represented as S, P, D, F. Got it? Okay, this important difference you should know. Okay, you write it down. Okay, next we'll move on to the concept quantum numbers. As I have explained in the previous video, quantum numbers are the numbers which gives the information about the probability of finding the electron in the orbital. It is like an address of an electron. If we go on finding the value of each quantum number, at the end we will say that we will get the maximum probability of finding an electron, or we will get the electron. Got it? Okay. Then quantum numbers, mark it as important. Okay. In the previous exam, once they had asked for 4 marks. Okay, 4 marks question they had asked like write a note on quantum numbers. Okay, or explain quantum numbers. 4 quantum numbers are there, so it was asked for 4 marks. Okay. Okay. Then what are those 4 quantum numbers? First one is principal. Look at the spelling, PAL. Principal quantum number. Okay. Second one, azimuthal. Azimuthal quantum number, or it is also called as angular. Angular quantum number, or also called as subsidiary quantum. It has 3 more names: azimuthal quantum number, or angular quantum number, or subsidiary quantum number. Okay, and the third one is magnetic. Okay, magnetic quantum number. Fourth one is spin. Spin quantum number. Got it? Quantum. Now, okay, and this principal quantum number is represented by small n. Remember, principal quantum number is represented with the letter small n. Okay, and azimuthal quantum number is represented with the small l. It is represented with the symbol small l. Remember. Okay, and magnetic quantum number is represented as ml. Small m and subscript l. Okay, and it is represented as ms. Okay, or small s or ms. Got it? These are the 4 quantum numbers. One is principal quantum number, azimuthal quantum number, magnetic quantum number, and spin quantum number. It is important to know about all these 4 quantum numbers. You got it, students? Okay. First, you should know what are the quantum numbers. Okay, and then now we will study each and every quantum number one by one. Okay. Now we write the side heading: principal quantum number. Yes. Now we will discuss about the first quantum number, that is principal quantum number. Okay, principal quantum number is represented by the small n. Small n. Okay, see here, this is the nucleus. Around this, what are there? What are there around this? Orbitals. Now on the board I have shown the 2-dimensional diagram, but you can imagine it as a one sphere is there, around that little space is there, and one more, over that one more sphere, and space, one more sphere, like that you can imagine. Okay, so the first orbital which is near to the nucleus, that is named as n is equal to 1. Second one, n is equal to 2. Third one, n is equal to 3, and so on up to infinity. Okay? So, by looking at this, what information it gives? It gives the information about if n is equal to 3 for any of the particular electron, what does it mean? The electron belongs to, electron is present in the third shell. If n is equal to 1, electron is present in the first shell. Means it gives the information. I told about the sphere, no? That itself is referred as shell here. SHELL. Okay? It gives the information to which shell an electron belongs. It gives the information about the to which shell an electron belongs. Okay? Gives information. Okay? It gives information Second one, it also gives the information about the size of the shell. Yes or no? If I suddenly say n is equal to 1 and n is equal to 2, you can tell which is the bigger size shell and which is the smaller shell. Okay, greater the number of greater the value of n, greater is the size of the shell. Okay, first shell is smaller, second one is larger than the first, and the third one is larger than the first two, like that. Okay, so the second point, it gives the information about the size of the shell. Size of the shell. Okay, and third one, it also tells about the energy. Okay, it also tells about the energy. Increase in the value of n, energy increases. Okay, increase in the value of n, energy increase. You see how it is? Here n is equal to 1. This shell has the more energy. Sorry, this shell has the more energy than this, because as number of shells increases, as the n value is increasing, the electron has to move far away from the nucleus. Yes or no? Therefore, it requires more energy to separate positively charged nucleus from the negatively charged electron. Okay, it requires more and more energy. Therefore, as the value of n increases, its energy increases. Therefore, this value of n also gives the information about the energy of the shell. Quantum number, principal quantum number also gives the information about the energy of the shell. Okay, and it also gives information about the number of electrons present in the shell. Okay, K, L, M, N, and it continues, but we will study only about the up to N. Shells I am talking. Okay, it also gives the information about the number of electrons present in the shell. That is, number of electrons present in the shell is given by the formula 2n square. Okay, number of electrons given in the shell is given by the formula 2n square, where n is the principal quantum number. For example, in a K shell, how many electrons are there? K shell means n is equal to 1. Therefore, 2 into 1 square is nothing but 2. N shell 2. Okay, 2 into n means n is equal to 2 square. That is 4 2s are 8. In a M shell, 2 into 3 square. That is 18. Okay. In a N shell, how many electrons are there? 4 square. 32. Like this. In the previous classes, in the lower classes, you have studied, number of electrons present in the shell: 2, 8, 18, 32, and so on. Got it? See how much information the principal quantum number is giving. Got it? Okay. Number of orbitals. Okay, this principal quantum number also tells about the number of orbitals present in a shell. Okay, that number of orbitals is given by the formula n square. Okay, now tell me, in a first shell, how many orbitals may be present? N is equal to 1. 1 square is nothing but 1. Okay, yes, in the second shell, n is what? 2. 2 square means what? 4. Okay, in the third shell, n is 3. 3 square means what? 9. Like this, it also gives the information about the number of orbitals present. Okay, now you write down the notes to this. Okay, principal quantum number. Okay, first point, it gives the information about the shell of an electron. Second one, it gives the information about the size of the shell. Third one, it also tells about the energy. Okay, it also tells about the energy. Okay, full point and continue. Increase in the value of n, energy of the shell increases. Increase in the the value of n, energy of the shell increases. Okay, and the next point, it tells about the number of electrons present in the shell, or the next point, the number of electrons present in a shell is given by 2n square. Got it? And last point, the number of orbitals present in the shell is given by only n square. Number of orbitals present in the shell is given by only n square. Okay? See? Shell n value. This you can continue. If n is equal to 1, k shell, n is equal to 2, n is equal to 3, m, n is equal to 4, n. Like this, and it will not be completely continuous. Okay? Yes, students, you got many informations about the principal quantum number. What all the information you got? It tells about the size, shape, and energy of the shell. Number of electrons present in the shell is given by 2n square. Number of orbitals present in the shell is given by the formula n square. Got it? Okay, with this information, next we'll move on to the second quantum number, that is azimuthal quantum number. Yes, second one is azimuthal quantum number, or also called as angular momentum quantum number, or also called as subsidiary quantum number. Is azimuthal quantum number is represented by the small l. Okay, about the quantum numbers, this is very important, students. You have to concentrate and listen to the explanation. Okay, azimuthal quantum number gives information about the angular momentum of an electron. Okay, as its name itself will tell that it is the angular momentum quantum number. Therefore, azimuthal quantum number gives information about the angular momentum of an electron. Then what else it gives the information? It gives the information regarding to which subshell an electron belongs. Okay, principal quantum number gives information that to which shell electron belongs, and azimuthal quantum number gives information to which subshell an electron belongs. Okay, the name of the shells K, L, M, N, like that, and the name of the subshells are S, P, D, F, small letters. Those are the notations to denote the subshells. Okay, see how to identify to which subshell an electron belongs. Okay, we know n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Okay, if these are the values of n, then subshell. If n is equal to 1, the subshell is S subshell. N is equal to 2, it is P, small p. N is equal to 3, D. N is equal to 4, F, and so on. Got it? Yes. Means what? It gives the information to which subshell an electron belongs. Yes or no? To which subshell an electron belongs. This is how you have to identify. If n is equal to 3, which subshell it is? P. If n is equal to n is equal to 3, which subshell it is? D. N is equal to 4, F. Like this you should know. Yes, n is equal to 1, S subshell. Got it? Means it gives the information to which subshell an electron belongs. Then how to write the values for L? See, for a given value of n, there are n minus 1 values. For a given value of n, there are n minus 1 values. Okay, therefore the n values start from 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on up to what? So on up to n minus 1. What will be the value of 1? No, sorry, what will be the value of n? 1 minus 1 will be the values of n. Okay, yes. I'll show here. If n is equal to 1, n can't be 0, isn't it? But n can be 0. Okay, how to write the values of n? If n is equal to 1, what will be the value of n here? n minus 1. 1 minus 1 is what? 0. Therefore, value of n is 0. Okay, then if n is equal to 2, values of L should start from what? 0 and it should stop at less than the n value, 1 less than the L value. Therefore 0, 1. Should I write 2? No. Okay, because it is up to n minus 1. N value is 2. Right? Next, n value is 3. N value is, yes, you can tell what are the values of n? 0, 1, 2. Only up to 2. 1 should be lesser than the value of n. N is equal to 4. Can you see here? Yes, I am right here. N is equal to 4. Values of n is equal to start from 0. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3 over. Okay, if n is equal to 5, values of L are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 over. Okay, this is how we can find out the values of L by using the value of L. Where it is important, where it is necessary, we will discuss it later. But now you get to know, hope you got to know how to calculate the values of L when n is given. Okay, and substitute this azimuthal. Yes, hope you are writing these points. Okay, last point is write down. Azimuthal quantum number also gives the information about the shape of the subshells. Azimuthal quantum number also gives the information about the shape of the orbital, or shape of the subshell. Azimuthal quantum number also gives the information about the shape of the subshell. S subshell is spherical in shape. Okay. P subshell is dumbbell shape. Okay, we know how the dumbbells will be. Okay, generally we will represent them like this. Okay, dumbbell shape. And D subshell, double dumbbell shape. Okay, and what about the F subshell? F subshell shape is complex. We are not worrying much about the shape of the F subshell. F subshell shape is complex. Remember, shape means what? Okay, if it is the nucleus, if you consider the sphere-like space around the nucleus, it is called as S subshell. If you consider this much space and this much space, that is called as P subshell. This much